So after spending a lot of time watching the Apple event and series of videos about the newly released iPhone 16 series, I then discovered that there is just so much hype about these devices, and honestly, Apple needs to step up big time. So we all know that the Apple event is usually held in September, and because of how hyped that event is, it made September a very hot and hyped month. That's one of the reasons we call it Techtember, right? Yeah. But this year, Apple decided to move it to August for some weird reasons I don't know. Maybe because there's too much competition or they just want to get more serious. I don't really know. But I feel like the decision they made actually affected them in a way. Because if you look at these devices, I don't really see anything interesting and intuitive with what they did this year. In fact, most of the features that were really hyped have actually been on Android phones for a very, very long time now. And also, what is supposed to be the major selling point of these devices are not even on them right now. That's their whole Apple Intelligence stuff, but we'll come to that later. Let's just take a look at some of their features that have been on Android phones for a very long time now. First is lock screen customization, like lock screen customization. Even Android devices from like 5 years ago, like the Samsung Galaxy S7, S8, they could actually do this, and just because Apple did it this year with the iPhone 16 series, there's a lot of noise. But what I think Apple is trying to do, I feel like they are just trying to slowly implement these tips into their smartphones. They don't want to rush it so that it doesn't look like they are outrightly copying Android. I know that Android have actually copied some things from the iPhone, but I feel like it's more of hardware and design than software. Don't get me wrong, I know that Android actually copies some software features from the iPhone, but if you check it well, Android has more software features that is more universal and also beneficial to the iPhone. But in order for them to keep their pride, like I said, they just want to slowly implement these tips to their phone so that it don't look like they are outrightly copying Android. Well, it's actually nice though that they've brought this feature into their phone after a very long time, so that iPhone users can actually have a sense of the freedom that Android users enjoy and not feel like that child that is always looked after by that wicked guardian when using their smartphones. Second is pausing videos. Now, this actually made me laugh. Let me show you something. So, this is a Tecno Pop 3, a smartphone that was released 5 years ago. And guess what? This phone can actually pause videos. You don't believe me, right? Now, let me show you. Alright, come closer. So, I'm in video mode right now. As you can see right here. If I click here, I'm recording a video right now, right? And you can see this right here. That's a place where I can actually pause the video. And if I click on it, it's paused. Can you guys see that? The video is paused already. And I click here, I can continue my video anytime. So you can see, this is a 5-year-old smartphone doing what the flagship iPhone 16 Pro Max can do. So this means that I can actually compare this phone in terms of this feature to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I think that's what it is, because same way it actually works here, it's actually going to work there. So there's nothing special about it. But I think this is just a minute feature, and I feel like it was not supposed to have a full session and fully talked about in a whole event. Like, this is something that is just so minute. Like, they brought pausing video, fine, it's actually nice, but them taking this like as a whole full session, talking about this for a very long time on the Apple events, man, I think they've gone past this. Like, come on, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Third, Tint App Icons. Yeah, this is actually nice, and with the way Apple has done theirs, they give you a way to manually tint the colors of your app icons to suit the color of whatever wallpaper that you choose. And I know that there are a lot of people that are going to come out with a lot of innovative and creative designs for their home screen with this, but I think it's just no match for Material You on Android phones. Like, isn't this just stressful having to change the colors of your app icons every single time you change a wallpaper when there is material on Android phones where the app icons just automatically adapt and choose the color of whatever wallpaper that you choose? I think it's just an easier way. And what about those people who change their wallpapers every single day? So they will have to be tinting the colors to match the color of whatever wallpaper they choose every single day. Man, I think that's just a lot of stress. Apple users, I'm sorry, you guys will just have to protest for material you. I feel it's just an easier and a better way of doing this, and trust me, it will save you guys some time. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the one that has been blowing up everywhere but is still a gimmick, the dedicated camera button. I say this is a gimmick because whatsoever you can do on this camera button, you can actually do it a lot faster, like 10 times faster by just navigating on your screen. And yet, they put it there and it has just been so hyped. I don't know if you guys can remember the rumors where it was said that the iPhones are going to go completely portless and buttonless. Because some years back, they actually removed some buttons from their phones. The major one being the button that was actually a fingerprint sensor. So it was rumored that the iPhones were going to go portless and buttonless. But for some time now, they've been adding more buttons, and the question is, are we going portless and buttonless, or we are adding more buttons? They first added the action button, now they've added the camera button. Like, where's the confusion coming from? And this is not actually the first time we're actually seeing this on a smartphone. I think some smartphones like the Sony Xperia, I can't really remember their names now, but I'll put some pictures here and here. This is just to let you know that this is not the first time I've seen this on a smartphone. And if they've tried this and they didn't continue with the trend, that's just to tell you that this is not something that many people will see themselves using. That's why they cut down on it. And iPhone bringing it now, honestly, I feel like this is not something that many people are actually going to find themselves using. Even the people that are going to get this smartphone, they may be excited about it at the first time they buy it, but at the long run, I'm very sure that they may even forget that something like that is there. And the second one is even the placement, the place where they placed it is just so hard for it to be used in that placement. So I'm very sure that at the long run, they are going to forget that this is there. 4K 120 FPS. This one is very, very easy and straightforward. It has been on Android flagships for a very, very long time now. But where iPhone edges is that it is the king of video and no Android phone can compete with it when it comes to video. But where I have to give it to Apple though is that you can now shoot this 4K 120 FPS in log format and you're getting a very high quality slow motion video out of a smartphone. This is just mind blowing and I think they deserve an applause for that. 45W fast charging. After many years of being stuck with the same charging speed, they finally built faster charging, and this was something they never wanted to do, but after so much complaint, they just had to listen to the consumers and give them what they want. Just as the same way they never wanted to switch from Lightning to USB Type-C. But they finally did, and like I said at the beginning, with time. Hiding apps. Now this one is actually very fun. So on Android phones, when you hide an app, it is actually hidden out of sight and out of reach from anybody. Even if you hand your phone over to somebody to use, they will not be able to know and to find where that app is. Only you that knows where the app is. But on your iPhone, when you hide an app, it just goes to a folder at the last part of your app dock. And these apps are still visible, but it's just that nobody will be able to access them without your Face ID. So now the question is, what if it was an illicit app that you hid? You said you hid it on your iPhone and it just goes to a folder on your phone, and then you hand your phone over to somebody to use, and then the person finds that app on your phone, even if the person cannot be able to access it. But the fact that the person has already seen the app on your phone is already very, very implicative. And I know that they may actually fix this with a software update, like find a way to completely secure and hide these apps with a software update. But as of what it is right now, I can confidently say that what is on the iPhone is not hiding apps. It's called locking apps in a secured folder. That's what it is basically. Because if you say you hide the app is supposed to actually be gone. But this one is still on your phone. People can still see it. But they can't access it. So I think they still need to learn how to hide apps from Android phone. 8. RCS. Yeah, we now finally have RCS on the iPhones, and this means that the fight and the argument between blue bubbles and green bubbles is now finally going to be over. We thank God for that. So you can now be able to send high resolution pictures and videos from your iPhone to your Android phone as SMS. And this is something I've been enjoying for a very long time now on Android phones. But I think Apple still needs to bridge the gap between sending files from your iPhone to your Android phone, because it can get very annoying and frustrating sometimes while doing this, and I think it can be better. I'm talking about their whole Apple Intelligence stuff. I don't just know why they must name everything. It's still artificial intelligence, but they just want to do it in the Apple way by naming it Apple Intelligence. Well, even some of their Apple Intelligence features are actually similar to what Samsung and Google are offering, like the ability to erase objects from the background of a picture, just like Magic Eraser on the Google Pixel devices. There are still other minor features Apple took from Android this year, but if I were to list everything out, this video is going to be very long. So here are some of the features Apple implemented this year that has been on Android phones for a very long time. Let me know what you think about them in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, ensure to smash that like button, share and subscribe, and also ring that notification bell icon so that you'll be the first to know when other videos like this one drops next. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Signing out.